The wind is cold at 9,000 feet. The air is thin. The view goes on forever. Now picture this. You are standing near the edge of a rocky cliff. It is your wedding anniversary. Your husband is behind you. He is smiling. He says he wants to take your picture. Think of handing someone your phone and turning your back. You trust that they will just take the photo. You never think they might let it fall. That is the level of trust we are talking about here. This is the story of Herold Henthorn. On paper, Herold is the unluckiest man you could meet. 2 wives, 2 accidents, 2 funerals. To the outside world, Herold was the perfect husband. He sent long, sweet letters. He planned romantic surprises. He spoke softly. He cried in all the right places. But inside this story, the picture is different. When you look closely, the accidents start to line up like dominoes. They do not fall by chance. They fall in a straight line. This is not a story of bad luck. It is a story of a pattern. We start with his first wife, Lynn. Lynn was kind, trusting, and loyal. She loved Herold. She believed Herold loved her. Some time ago, Lynn and Herold went out for a drive. They were on a remote road. Herold said they had a flat tire. He pulled over. Here is the version of events Herold gave. He said the tire went flat. He said he jacked up the Jeep. He said the vehicle slipped off the jack. He said it crashed down on Lynn. Lynn died that night. She died under the Jeep. There were no other witnesses, only Herold. At first, it looked like a horrible accident. It was dark. They were far from town. But even then, things did not add up. Herold gave different details to different people. He changed which direction they were driving. He changed pieces that should have stayed the same. Later, experts tried to recreate Herold's story. They brought in a Jeep. They brought in a jack. They tried to copy his scene. They found the tire was not fully flat. A tire that is not flat does not need a roadside change right away. The jack was unstable, but no one tested it immediately. Think of a full glass of red wine on a table. Someone tells you they spilled the entire glass. You go in and see a tiny pink spot on the carpet. You know the story does not match the stain. You just know the physics are wrong. That is what the Jeep scene looked like to the experts. Lynn's death stayed on paper as an accident. Herold collected a large amount of life insurance money after her passing. He received about $645,000. He did not tell everyone about all the policies. Now watch the money. Money is often where the truth shows up. Herold did not work a regular job after that. He called himself a fundraiser consultant. He had no real tax income to match those stories. His comfortable life came largely from life insurance.
Before we go on, a small favor, please subscribe to the channel. It helps a lot. Thank you, and let's continue with the story.
After some time, Herold met his second wife, Toni. Toni was a smart and driven woman. She was an eye doctor. Her patients respected her. When she met Herold, he seemed like a dream. He was charming. He was romantic. He told Toni he would cherish her. He told Toni he would take care of everything so she could relax. Herold did what many controlling men do. He wrapped control in romance. Think of a fence that moves inward 1 foot every week. Eventually, you are in a cage. But you never saw the cage built. Each movement felt too small to be a warning. That is how his love worked. Herold and Toni married. They moved to Colorado. From the outside, they looked like a happy family. Inside the home, Herold, Toni's husband, started to manage every detail. He scheduled Toni's time. He watched her calls. He often knew where she was every minute. At first, that kind of focus can feel flattering. It does not look like a trap yet. Think of someone moving your furniture 1 inch every night. After some time, you are walking different paths through your own house. You do not know why the room feels wrong, but your old paths no longer work. That is what Herold did to Tony's life. Herold, Tony's husband, did not want Tony's family to visit often. He controlled trips and travel. He often insisted they not share too much with others. Tony started to become quieter with her friends. This is where the pattern of control starts to show clearly. Think about a phone call with static. You hear one crackle and let it go. By the fifth crackle, you know the line is bad. The sound itself is the warning. That is how small controlling acts work. Each one seems small. Together, they form a loud signal. Over this time, accidents started to follow Tony. She was at a cabin once when a heavy beam fell near her. She was on the road when one tire went flat in a strange way. Herold always seemed to be nearby. Tony, Herold's wife, sometimes told family that these moments felt odd, but she also loved her husband. She did not want to think the worst. Now remember the money. Herold had a $400,000 life insurance policy on his ex-sister-in-law, Grace. Herold, the husband, had named himself the beneficiary. A man putting a huge policy on a woman who is not his wife is not normal. This showed that the money pattern was bigger than just his wives. Here is where you may ask, why did she not just leave? Think about walking alone at night. Your body tenses. You cross the street. Then you see it is just a dad with his toddler. You feel stupid for being scared, paranoid. Women do this math 100 times a day. They override the fear because it is probably nothing. Tony, a successful doctor, did this too. Her gut saw the patterns. Her eyes saw the Christmas letters and the perfect husband. Her gut screamed when Herold showed up at her gym unannounced. But he brought flowers. He said he missed her. If she called it what it was, surveillance, she would sound crazy. So she called it romantic. That social pressure keeps the door shut. And here is why she could not just leave. Imagine standing on train tracks. You see the train coming, but you are holding the hand of someone who will not move. Do you pull them and risk fighting them into the train's path? Do you run alone and live with leaving them? Do you stay and manage him? There was no safe move, just degrees of danger. For Tony, leaving meant risking anger. It meant taking their child out of the home. It felt easier to believe in the good version of Herold, the father who played with their child. By the time she knew it was a full trap, she was already deep inside it.
Before we go on, a small favor, please subscribe to the channel. It helps a lot. Thank you, and let's continue with the story.
When it was time for their wedding anniversary trip, Herold planned a big surprise for Tony. Herold, her husband, picked Rocky Mountain National Park. Tony was not an experienced hiker in rough terrain. This trip was his idea. He chose the trail. He chose the spot. Tony texted a friend that the hike was harder than she expected. She did not sound relaxed. If she had made the decision to turn back then, everything would have changed. Herold led Tony off the main trail. He took her to a rocky area near a steep drop. Then, at some point near a cliff, Tony went over the edge. She fell about 140 feet. Her body was broken. Once again, Herold, her husband, was the only adult witness. Digital evidence is like breadcrumbs. Each text, each Google search, each deleted photo leaves one behind. Even when you sweep them up, forensics finds the crumbs under the rug. That is how investigators found the truth. Investigators checked Herold's phone records. Herold had gone into that same park many times before the special trip. He had gone to the same general area again and again. When investigators searched Herold's car, they found a folded map. On that map, a spot near the cliff where Tony, his second wife, fell was marked with a pink X. The exact area where she would later die was already marked. This proved the trip was not a surprise. It was planning. Herold had trouble explaining this mark. Herold called 911 from the mountain. His call was strange. He said he was doing CPR. At other times, he sounded too calm for the scene. Rescue teams noticed details that did not fit Herold's story. Her lipstick was still neat. Her injuries did not match the idea of long, hard CPR. Think of cleaning your kitchen after cooking. If someone tells you they scrubbed every dish, you expect to see streaks and damp towels. If everything looks untouched, you know the story is wrong. That is what Tony's body looked like compared to Herold's version of CPR. Herold made sure Tony's body was cremated right away. He did not leave room for a later second autopsy. He created a story that seemed complete. A love story, an accident, a sad husband. But Tony's family did not accept the accident so easily. They felt the same static in the line that Lynn's family had felt some time ago, and now it was the second time. Investigators went back to Lynn's case. They noticed how strange it was that two wives had died in remote places. They noticed the matching life insurance trails. They noticed Herold's shifting stories. It is like seeing the same car behind you for 3 different turns. Once is random, twice is odd. 3 times means you are being followed. That is the pattern. This is what this mechanism always looks like. Here is how you spot it in 30 seconds. 1. He finds a woman who trusts deeply. 2. He slowly separates her from her support system. 3. He makes sure money flows to him if she dies. This is key. 4. He places her in needless danger. 5. He tells the story for her when she cannot. If you see even part of that in your life or your friend's life, that is not paranoia. That is data. Eventually, Herold Henthorn was convicted of murdering Tony, his second wife. The charge was first-degree murder. That means the killing was planned, not sudden. He was sentenced to life in prison with no chance of release. Lynn's case was never charged as murder in court, but her family heard the verdict. They heard that 2 accidents are not accidents at all. Herold Henthorn is now in prison. Tony and Lynn's families have their answer. But one thing was never fully explained. Investigators later learned Herold had tried to take out a policy on his ex-sister-in-law, Grace. They never found the second, smaller policy he forged. He was building a bigger structure than they could see. Think of food poisoning. You do not get sick from one crumb on a plate. You get sick because the whole meal was off. One controlling text? Could be stress. A long line of accidents that always favor his power? That is the bad meal. Listen to your smoke detector feelings. Notice if he is always there when accidents almost happen. You are allowed to name that pattern. Your instincts are not drama. They are data. They are the notes your body takes when your brain is busy making excuses. If you finish this video with one sentence locked in your mind, let it be this. When someone's perfect planning makes you feel smaller, not safer, that is not love. That is a warning.
If you'd like to keep exploring cases like this, there's another one waiting for you on screen. I think you'll find it meaningful. Click on it, and thank you for watching.